Hello everyone, and welcome to this month's product update session. My name is Joe Tavano, and I'm part of the channel marketing team here at WatchGuard. Here are the topics for this month, where we cover all that you need to know about WatchGuard and Panda products. So without further ado, let's begin with the first topic.
Hello, I'm Brendan Patterson, Vice President of Product Management at WatchGuard. In the partner updates over the past couple of months, we've mentioned upcoming news about WatchGuard Cloud and the firewall policy management. You may have seen in the press our announcement in mid-February about these new updates to WatchGuard Cloud. It's generally available now. So the things we've been talking about over the past couple of months are now available in production GA. Our own Andrew Young, Senior Vice President of Product Management at WatchGuard, was interviewed in a couple of the channel publications recently, highlighting the capabilities of this new release. It's some big news for us. And remember, it's not just the Firebox policy. Back in January, Ben Oster talked about TDR coming to WatchGuard Cloud. That is available now. There's a single pane of glass for TDR in WatchGuard Cloud where you can manage and allocate licenses, just like AuthPoint or Fireboxes. Ricardo had a product blog post with all the detail back in January, and I've provided the link here. In 2021, we'll bring more services into WatchGuard Cloud, including Panda and DNS Watch. So what's the big deal about Firebox policy management? Going beyond just visibility, you can now define your network setup and firewall policy across multiple devices. This new management capability is defined for operational efficiency to save our partners time. It's not a direct connected web UI. Policies can be created offline and scheduled for deployment. Policy templates are a powerful way to share configurations and policies across multiple appliances. I did a detailed demo back in the January product update. I'm not going to run through it again. It's available in the Learning Center for reference. But today I am going to do a deep dive into the template options, since I've seen a lot of interest from partners. As you know, WatchGuard Cloud is a multi-tier and multi-tenant platform designed for MSPs. Features like account delegation map to the business models that our partners use today. And we've continued to keep the emphasis on making the job easy for MSPs with policy management. We've shared configurations for multiple appliances using our policy templates. So how did we design this? Let's start at the beginning. As we were planning to bring policy management into the cloud, what are the things that we were hearing from our partners? We went out and talked to a lot of them. We heard things like, I need a solution that is easy for my team to learn. I want to keep policy consistent across my customers. I need a solution that will grow with my security business. I want to be able to deploy firewalls faster and without requiring my team to travel to the customer site. And we'd see that often a partner would have a WatchGuard starter configuration for every customer. That's an XML policy configuration file. Sometimes or often they'd call it a gold configuration. Many partners had documents describing onboarding via Policy Manager, and then a spreadsheet or a checklist of work items, a to-do list, or a statement of procedure. So our design goals for the new templates were to make them easy to comprehend, auditable, so you could know where policy came from and who created it, give optional flexibility so it would work for different partner models, different customer types, and make it extensible so it would apply to one or very many systems. So let's look at how that is implemented. The template can define the firewall policies, including things like security service settings, exceptions, content filtering policies. That could include firewall rules for outgoing services, or firewall rules or policies allowing access to managed services. Now these templates, it's defined as T1 in the diagram, are shared, are inherited from the top level down to the lower subscriber level. Templates can even be copied from service provider to subscriber, so devices can subscribe to templates from multiple levels. Templates also apply one-to-many. A single template can apply to multiple fireboxes. This supports a couple of key use cases. Let's look at the first global configuration case in the UI. So the service provider has a global or goal configuration that they apply to all devices. In this example, it's called main services. The service provider wants to make changes once and apply them everywhere. You can see this main services template enables all of the security services for content scanning and network blocking. Service provider creates this template one time. Now, as the subscriber adds new devices, like the Office fireboxes, they subscribe to this template and select it. Changes made over time to this template get deployed to all devices that are subscribing to it. The second use case is an application-specific template. Again, the service provider has a global configuration that they apply to all devices. But in this case, some customers have a new application like a voice-over IP system. The service provider wants to manage voice-over IP settings in one place and apply to only some devices or customers. If a customer is not running that VoIP application, they don't need the specific firewall rules that open some of the ports and some of the application FQDNs it needs. So in this case, we have two templates instead of one. The service provider creates a new VoIP application template at their service provider account level. That's T2 in the diagram. This VoIP template can then be applied to only those customers and locations that use the application. Changes are applied to all subscribed devices. So I've heard a lot of positive reaction from WatchGuard partners as they've got into the product and seen the power of templates and got a vision for how they can save time as they deploy security configurations out to multiple appliances. For example, here, Matt Lee, Director of Technology at Iconic IT, a WatchGuard MSSP partner, said the simplistic and cloud-based approach can fundamentally transform how we deliver security to our end customers. So really good stuff in WatchGuard Cloud can help you save some time. Now, cloud is not for everyone yet who is a WatchGuard partner. We're still working to build out the roadmap for some more of the features, things like traffic management, SSL, VPN. I've also heard some partners may be disappointed that we do not import in older configurations and you have to start with the factory default of the appliance. A box is either cloud managed or managed using Policy Manager and WSM. So in future sessions, we'll cover more roadmap, but I've also seen a lot of positive reaction from partners who maybe were a little hesitant at first when they saw the concept of factory defaulting a box to get it into WatchGuard Cloud. But once you see the power of templates and the new capabilities there, it really gets people thinking about the possibilities of how they could perhaps incorporate that into newer appliances, newer customers they bring on. So I encourage people, try it out. If you have an NF4 appliance, use it to try WatchGuard Cloud. If you don't have one that you can devote to testing WatchGuard Cloud, we have an online demo. The link is provided here, Try Cloud. Now, it will give you read-only status to all of the configuration type capabilities we've provided here. But we definitely want people to check it out. And if you don't have an NF4 yet, get in touch with your WatchGuard account manager or rep and get one where you could test and try this out. But the easy way to start is take a look at this online demo. My second update this month is about FireWare. Now, if you've been following these partner update webinars on a regular basis, or if you listen to the threat analyst team, Corey and Mark, talk about their internet security report, you'll have heard that passwords are a really weak link in a security defense. All it takes for a hacker to gain entry is any one of the following: a user with a bad or weak password, maybe a user with a keylogger or Mimikatz Trojan on their computer, or just a social engineered user who shares their password. You need to eliminate the risk of poor password habits on your network. And the way WatchGuard has been promoting this over the last couple of years is to protect your company with AuthPoint. As workers have gone remote over the last year, we've seen a lot of success with AuthPoint, and you'll see new features, new capabilities, risk-based authentication covered in different parts of this partner update training. Any remote access or VPN application should have multi-factor authentication to protect the network from unauthorized access. Now, our solution for that is to use AuthPoint. I'm not going to go into it here since it is covered in other parts of the webinar and many other trainings from WatchGuard. But it's important for us that this solution works well with the other products in our portfolio, which of course includes the Firebox and its FireWare operating system. So today I'm excited to announce we're introducing a closer integration between the Firebox and AuthPoint in the FireWare 12.7 release. By the time you're listening to this webinar, the solution will be in beta, on track for general availability in April. Your local sales engineer is already testing it out in their lab. With this integration, we've eliminated the need to set up a Radius server, which is an old and cumbersome protocol. Firebox now communicates directly with AuthPoint in the cloud. Your appliance needs to be cloud capable, i.e. running basic or total security. One great advantage is that AuthPoint can now receive the end user's IP address and then apply policy of network location for the VPN access. That's not possible using the Radius option today. So really the big deal here is that we're eliminating the need for that old Radius protocol that's difficult to set up and is kind of a barrier of entry to getting more customers and more network admins to use AuthPoint and multi-factor authentication with their FireWare VPN access. Now note that the AuthPoint gateway is not running on the Firebox itself. If you only use Firebox DB, you could potentially eliminate the gateway, but for most people who have Active Directory, they'll still need the gateway to communicate with the AD server, and also the gateways used by other SAML applications in the ecosystem. So FireWare 12.7 is in beta now. You can join or sign up for the beta at the link I provided at watchguard.com for our beta programs. On the beta site, you'll find a lot more technical information and documentation about the new features in the release. If you haven't used AuthPoint yet, this is a great time to jump in and learn the product and leverage the power of multi-factor authentication. So thanks everyone for joining today, and I look forward to seeing some great feedback on the beta form.
Hi everyone, I'm Sam Manjares, Product Marketing Manager here at WatchGuard. For this monthly update, I'll be covering some go-to-market recommendations for your AuthPoint selling strategy. Let's get started. Did you know that in one of their 2020 reports, Gartner encouraged businesses to enhance remote access security with multi-factor authentication? This came as no surprise after the huge shift many companies faced due to the COVID-19 global pandemic. The MFA market will continue to expand rapidly, and we don't want you to miss out on capitalizing on this growth opportunity. Since the launch of AuthPoint as WatchGuard's MFA solution, we have been working on understanding the challenges that businesses face when considering to implement MFA. But today, you might find yourself in a situation where it is easier to bring up the MFA conversation with existing or potential customers. Nevertheless, let's look at some of the key value propositions you could address when it comes to selling multi-factor authentication. Increase identity security. Highly valuable to any business, small or big, especially in today's world. Protect cloud applications, company assets, and networks. MFA gives your customers more than identity protection. Choose easy to deploy and manage MFA. We know this can be a reason some businesses resist implementing MFA, but our solution was designed to provide easy deployment and user management capabilities. For example, recent feature releases like Wizards and WatchGuard Cloud, pull authentication to improve mobile performance, and the ongoing addition of third-party integrations are great examples to bring up. Compliance matters. MFA can address organizational compliance across industries like healthcare, government, education, retail, and more. You can afford AuthPoint. Yes, this is a big one. Our solution is by far the most affordable on the market. Plus, we don't charge extra for added features like single sign-on and risk authentication. Be sure to review our latest price infographic to learn more. We also just published a new partner brief to highlight both the product benefits to your customers and the value that MFA adds to any MSP security portfolio. You can find the brief on your Selling Authpoint page in the partner portal or in the Risk Framework Marketing Campaign Kit. Let's review some scenarios you can use to sell MFA depending on your customer segmentation. We will also highlight marketing resources available to you for any of these use cases. Your existing customers that have not enabled MFA may be a great target to educate on the security enhancements that come with multi-factor authentication. Authpoint's new risk framework is the perfect opportunity to discuss your zero trust security strategies and even how, beyond MFA, we should really be looking at technologies that allow businesses to master identity access management to keep user identities and platforms protected. Check out the new Marketing Campaign Kit in the Partner Portal to review all the new resources you can use to promote risk authentication. These include ebooks, risk assessment guides, email templates you can use for your own campaigns, banner ads, and other partner training resources like demo videos and frequently asked questions documents. You might remember that we covered the risk framework launch in January's partner update. I just wanted to remind you of how risk authentication can improve the way that you manage MFA for your customers. First, by tailoring risk policies to your customer needs. Remember that you can now create policies that are based on the type of users and risk scenarios that your customers have. Competitive advantage against other MFA solutions. We don't charge extra for authentication policies like other competitors. Simplified user experience. Risk policies allow flexibility when the risk is low. And lastly, advanced security for remote access. This can allow you to optimize authentication practices for customers with hybrid business models. Let's talk about potential new customers. Now, this is not to say that you couldn't use risk-based authentication and zero trust security pitch with potential new customers. But when it comes to MFA, you could also start by raising awareness about the main credential-related threats that put businesses at risk. The weak password message is a well-known risk, and I am sure you've used that angle many times. Remember though, the dark web scan feature in WatchGuard Cloud is a perfect way to use information from real data breaches involving compromised email accounts and credentials. I hope you are using this to accelerate your sales cycle. And of course, we have remote work. According to Gartner, organizations could be experiencing 5 times more credential-related attacks if they don't have MFA. Our marketing campaign kits have resources that can help you address your sales strategies using these important use cases. Lastly, I wanted to make sure you know about the new Authpoint MFA Cloud product page on WatchGuard.com. This page exclusively focuses on addressing all the features that our cloud-based MFA solution has to offer. This can also be a great resource to use with existing and potential customers, so be sure to check it out. I hope you enjoyed this monthly update and got some good ideas to move forward with your Authpoint selling strategy. Thank you and see you next month.
Hi everyone, thanks for joining this session. I'm Alex Cagnoni, Director of Authentication for WatchGuard, and joining me in this session we have Fabio Mansour, Product Manager for Authpoint. Today I'm going to talk about a new beta coming up this March, the Authpoint Self-Service Portal, and Fabio will give you a quick demo to show how it works. But before we get started, just want to make sure you're aware of the new Authpoint Risk Framework that was launched early February. The way you define risk policies changed, giving administrators much more flexibility and power when defining those policies, allowing them to synchronize AD groups and create policies based on groups, resources, and risk policies. Starting with network locations, You will see throughout the year many more risk features being delivered. And the best of all, no extra cost to get them. Most MFA solutions will charge 2-3 times more to get risk capabilities. AuthPoint delivers it at no additional cost. And it makes it much easier to implement Zero Trust in your company. If you haven't done it yet, download the new ebook on risk-based authentication and Zero Trust. It's a very comprehensive guide on how to use MFA to start creating your Zero Trust environment with real-world examples and how they would reflect on an AuthPoint implementation. But let's take a look at the AuthPoint self-service portal. The self-service portal will be part of the AuthPoint's IDP portal, also known as the Web Single Sign-On portal. A few reasons I might want to use the self-service portal. I might want users to activate their mobile tokens through the IDP portal. Well, this can be done today, but it will be even more explicit to users. Maybe the activation email ended up in the spam folder. Maybe your email server is protected by MFA, so activating through the company's SSO portal might look like a good idea. Second, some users might want to use hardware tokens. Maybe they don't want to install the AuthPoint app in their personal mobile phones, so they will use hardware tokens. Instead of having IT associate and activate each hardware token individually, this new feature will allow them to just ship the token to the user and let them assign themselves and activate their token. Finally, users might have new devices where they would like to add a second token. Or maybe they got another hardware token and would like to assign themselves. We are excited to announce that a new beta is coming up in March, the first version of the AuthPoint self-service portal. With the self-service portal, new users will get the option to activate their mobile token or assign a hardware token the first time they go into the IDP portal. Once they log into the IDP portal or Web Single Sign-On portal, they will have an option to activate a new mobile token while maintaining the previous one, or adding a new hardware token. Let's see how it works with Fabio.
Hello, my name is Fabio Mansur. I'm the project manager of AuthPoint, and I'm going to show you quickly how the self-service portal feature works for the user enrollment. So, I have a new user here in AuthPoint. His user does not have any token, neither mobile or hardware token, so it's pending. How can we facilitate the enrollment of this user? So when the user goes to the IDP portal, or now it will be the self-service portal, and of course I have already defined my password before logging into this. So when I log into the IDP portal now, when I go to the next, the system identifies that I don't have any tokens available for this user, or active tokens. So I give two options for him to activate a hardware token or a mobile token. So I type in my password, and let's see the mobile token first. Then I go here to next. It's gonna open the QR code, and then let's see here, my mobile phone is here. It's the first time I'm activating a token here on my mobile phone. Allow. Then I'm pointing it to the QR code, activate the token. So the token was activated. It shows me the reminder to migrate the tokens if I want to move to a new token. And then I save it here. Okay, so now when I click here on finish, I'm directed again to the login page. Now let's do the flow again for the hardware token. I have already deleted the token of the user. He has no tokens again. So I'm gonna log into the portal. Click next. Then it shows again both options. And then I'm gonna click here on hardware token. Then it asks for the serial number and for an OTP to activate this token. So in this case, the operator does not need to associate a token to the user. Just having a token existing on the account, and then the user can do this by himself. So it has a token here. On the back here, on the off-point token, WatchGuard token, we have the serial number here. So let's see. It's the WG 17706. You can put it with dashes or without dashes, doesn't make a difference. And then my OTP here is 309651. So I'm a user. The operator just got a bunch of tokens and gave each token for each user, and then the user itself associates in this process. It associates and activates the token for me. Then I can authenticate here. And I can use the OTP option here to do the token. So let's see here. Now using the OTP, I'm gonna type a new OTP that's generated here. 248252, and then I can log into the IDP portal. Okay. And then once I'm logged in, I have options here to add new tokens for me. I can add a new mobile token, or I can activate a hardware token. So for example, suppose that I have a token on a mobile phone, but I want to use another mobile phone, or I want to use an iPad, for example, with a second token for the same account. So I can simply come here and generate the QR code, and then it shows the QR code and it's gonna activate for me. So this self-service portal has those two main flows. First one is for the first enrollment of the user. User has no token, and then you can during the access of the self-service portal, you can activate a hardware token or a mobile token. Once you activate a token, when you log in, you have access to associate a new mobile token or a new hardware token for if you already have other ones. Okay? Thank you.
Thanks, Fabio. That was a great demo. Please keep an eye. This open beta should be starting in late March. Thanks for watching this. See you on the next AuthPoint update.
Hi everyone. I'm Manu Santamaria, Product Manager for the Endpoint Protection and EDR solutions in WatchGuard. In this video, I want to talk about the Endpoint Security API that we have just released. The usage of the API will allow you to get information about the security status of the protection, to set configurations, to launch actions in the endpoints, etc., and all in an automated way. The topics we are covering in the next minutes will be features and use case covered with the API, requirements to use the API, and finally, we will talk about the main benefits we see for those who decide to integrate the Endpoint Security API. The API includes a lot of features. One of them is the ability to manage multiple customers with one API token. So just with a single integration, you will be able to get information of all your customers in an automated way. The API will also allow you to get information about the licenses used, not used by your customers. Another interesting point is that the API will allow you to get the link to download the installer of our protection and also to uninstall other security solutions if we want to replace the existing security solutions when installing our endpoint security protection. Also, with the API, you will have the ability to get information about the attacks stopped by our protection, malware, phishing, intrusions, etc., and the status of the protection, so you can know if the protection is up and running and updated. Additionally, the API will allow to set configurations to the computers or group of computers and to launch different actions in the endpoints such as scans, isolation, and restarts. In the next slides, we will talk about some use cases that we can cover with all the features available in the API. If you are selling solutions from different security vendors and you want to build unified dashboards, including key KPIs about the WatchGuard endpoint security portfolio, now you can do it. So you can build your single pane of glass to monitor the security status of all the security solutions used by your customers. Another use case is to build customized reports tailored to your specific needs. Another interesting use case is the option to create tickets in the ticketing system used in the organization. Two examples where it might be interesting to raise a case in an automated way can be if a malware has done external connections or affects data, or if a computer or a server is with the protection down. Raising case in your ticketing system will allow you to manage critical issues more quickly and in a more efficient way, as the cases are assigned to the right people and are managed following the company processes. With the API, it will also be possible to automate actions in response to an infection or a cyber crisis situation. The API will allow you to change configurations, run scans, isolate machines, etc. One of the most costly operations is the deployment. Thanks to the API, the deployment can be automated, saving a lot of time and ensuring that the security is deployed in all the laptops, computers, and servers of the organization. At the end of the day, the API opened the doors to implement multiple integrations with other software. In WatchGuard, to implement tight integrations with some RMM and PSA tools is a priority. In fact, we are already working on an integration with ConnectWise Automate. The requirements in order to use the API are simple. You just need to follow the next steps. Link your WatchGuard account with your Panda account, log into WatchGuard Cloud and activate the Managed Access in your account, and get the credentials, the API key, and URLs needed to authenticate and use the API. The Endpoint Security API uses the WatchGuard API framework where quotas are the next. You can use the API 500 times per second, and you can launch 10,000 query requests per day. And finally, just to comment that the technical documentation is already available. Here you will find explanation of all the features and a lot of examples showing how to use them. Just for finishing this video, let's talk about the benefits of using the API. The main benefits of integrating the API is that it will allow you automate operations and offer a better service delivery to your customers, reduce management and operational costs, implementing in an automated way the deployment, for example, create customized reports, reduce the mean time to response if you suffer an attack with all the actions available, and implement integrations with in-house systems such as ticketing systems. In fact, in WatchGuard, we will use the API to implement integrations with some RMM and PSA tools, being our first priority ConnectWise Automate, as I mentioned before. We will provide further information about the ConnectWise Automate integration in future product updates. Hope this presentation has been useful. Thank you.
Thank you for joining our monthly product update session. If you have any questions regarding today's topics, please contact the channel manager for your region. Thank you for your time today, and we will see you next month.